Ooh.
Yeah!
That case of man bites droid?
Bored. Hello. Hey, welcome to Toy Boys, and
Hello.
no silly costume for Grant this week. First off, before we get into Gremlins, I think we should start with. Let's gonna see how long this is gonna go on for. Get it all out.
Okay.
Any more, they're turning off.
Okay.
Are we doing this with the mask? All right, we'll do it with the mask. Gremlins. Jesus, where do we start?
It's the best Christmas film with the exception of the one when the bell rings and the angel gets his wings.
Die
Wonderful
Hard.
Life.
Die Hard.
Oh. No, Wonderful Life.
Oh, right. Oh, sounds like similar plots.
Oh.
But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, I love it.
Gremlins, I don't think anyone thought it was going to be a success. No props were kept from the film. That's why if you go into a prop store or any of that kind of stuff, you can't find anything about Gremlins, because when they were making it, they thought it just wasn't going to do well. A funny note I read was Steven Spielberg was getting notes when it was a sort of a rough cut, and the big executives would watch it and go, "If you want our notes, we think there's too many Gremlins." And Spielberg went, "Well, I could cut them all out and call the movie People."
That wouldn't be as good, though, would it?
No, I don't think so.
What did you say about them? I love that line you said. Why, they're evil, but they're not like...
Yeah, Gremlins, this is why they're my favourite sort of movie monster characters, is they're not trying to take over the world, they're really not trying to multiply or really even kill anyone. They just exist to have fun. That's the only, when you watch the movie, they have no other motivation. They're just screwing with traffic lights and, oh yeah, they're my kind of spirit animal, I think.
we got them all going, we.
Yeah, if you hadn't noticed, just back there.
Come down and see him in the shop, he's lovely. He's an old shop display.
He's always here, his little mascot for the shop. That's probably that, and another item I'll get to later is probably one of the most asked about how much for sale kind of things, and he's not for sale. We've had some good offers. What's the highest offer you think we've had for that?
300 quid.
£300, yeah. If you watch Gremlins and you look at sort of the town it's set in, Kingston Falls or something like that, you'll notice it just looks familiar. It's because they shot on the same set as Back to the Future. It's Hill Valley. Like, the cinema where the Gremlins got blown up in the end is the same cinema that the DeLorean crashes into at the end of Back to the Future. And we've got some, got some toys, good.
Well, I found this look right good. I pulled this out because it's like behind the scenes with all the making and the models. Yeah, that's really nice. And I also... When can we do a retro gaming? Because I've got Gremlins 2 and I think we should like do a little play of Gremlins 2.
I think we need, if we do a gaming episode, we need to do a whole gaming episode. We can't just have a little segment. So for all the gaming nerds out there, you think we're neglecting consoles and games, we'll save it. We'll do it next episode where it's just a whole gaming episode. as far as toys go, I can't really remember many Gremlins toys. They kind
Yeah,
of
they do the little cars.
Yeah.
There was a line out at the time. I think the most popular one we sell is the Yay Big
Yeah.
Gremlins 2
Yep.
Clash. Like,
because
they come
Gremlins
in and
2
go-
they'll find a lot of props for, and rumours of a Gremlins 3 has bounced around as much as like a Beetlejuice sequel. It'll probably happen, but it'll be when no one really cares anymore. And I hope they kind of go a bit Star Warsy, where they'll mix CGI with real puppets. They won't just everything CGI. Yeah.
I'm bored. I swear.
Oh, one more thing. The Gremlins, the actual puppets, because I was leading with that one. They cost about $40,000 each Gremlin. So on set, every day when they finish production, the security guard would check everyone's bags and trunks to make sure no one's stealing a
I
Gremlin.
nicked the gizmo.
Yeah.
Oh, that was brilliant. Happy?
Yeah.
Gremlins, best Christmas film ever.
It is.
Bored. Next.
Bored.
Thank you very much.
What are we doing?
And brief.
You're gonna breathe.
That one's quite rigid on the old face. That one, Ruby's has let us down there.
All right. What are we doing next?
I don't know, what do you fancy next? There's quite a lot on the table. Normally we've got quite a rigid script, but we're kind of off the cuff a little bit tonight.
Yeah.
We could go for some Transformers.
All right. Let's do Transformers.
Now, were they something you collected as a kid?
Not really. No. Transformers were cool. I think as a kid they sort of blended with Voltron for me.
Yeah, all that
Very
vibe.
sort of similar. Just big robots and you collected parts and all that. No, I didn't have many Transformers.
So Transformers and Power Rangers and a lot of these things, obviously a Japanese kind of invention, even though it's kind of been coined in America and they've nailed it a little bit. I remember the G1, like Takara made Transformers.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, that's a Transformer. It's made of metal as well as plastic. They last ages. I love the logo, I love the artwork, I love the film when Optimus died.
We're talking about the cartoon animated
Yeah,
film.
the proper film.
We're not talking about the real film.
None of these new things.
Yeah.
What's those new? We'll come back to that.
Get to that.
I love the way that when you pick up a modern Transformer, they use a lot of ball joints on stuff now, and they break,
Yeah.
and they're just not designed for play. And I love. Well, what can you say? Like, I think Optimus Prime. Everybody loves Optimus Prime. Megatron.
Mm-hmm.
It's a gun.
Yes. They don't make them anymore.
Like,
and it weren't.
that's perfect.
Yeah. And you can't. This one's got it. I think they've all got it. It's very hard to see, but they have little stickers that look like just a silhouette of the Transformers emblem. But if you stick your finger on them, the heat from your finger lights
Yeah,
up the
that was
sticker.
like-
That was their
So you
thing.
knew if they were good or bad.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what I remember from them.
Yeah, yeah.
And this one is usually broken, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it always comes off. But it's one of those things that looks so much like a gun. In the UK, eBay have gone, you ain't selling them.
Yeah.
So you find reproduction ones have, or reissued, because it's all been reissued and a million times.
Yeah.
They tend to have the cap on the end, but
The orange sort of thing that, yeah.
that's a Takara 1984, I think, of all the Transformers. That and the Dinobots,
Dinobots were cool.
I
Yeah.
thought were great.
All my wealthier friends had the walking T-Rex, you know, had
Yeah.
wheels on its leg and everything. But no, those, from all I remember really from Transformers is they were always broken because kids just didn't know how to transform them.
Well,
so
I
they
was
would
gonna
force
say,
it and they'd snap them, and
I'll just do this
that
quick.
gun was
These
notorious for that.
instruction manuals
Oh, dude.
are like, yeah, that's for Optimus at the front.
Right.
Do you want to talk about anything about films or anything?
No, I got nothing on the toys. The films, I really don't have much either. Like, the first one I didn't mind. Okay.
Are we
so
talking about the new stuff?
the new ones?
we're not
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about
The
best.
animated ones were good, but I didn't catch much of them. But so the new Transformers movie came out in 2007, and it's obviously about robots from outer space coming to our world and to fight. But the most unbelievable thing I find of that film is Shia LaBeouf is dating Megan Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one's
I
buying
bet.
that. No one's buying that. But it just shows how sort of distributors were in control of everything, because they had a release date for Transformers the movie before they had a script or any of the cast. They said, oh, it'll be out on this date. Don't know who's in it or what it's about. But yeah, The first one I did actually think was alright because we hadn't seen anything like that before. But then there's no, you can't really, robots fighting. There's not really.
My opinion, it should have been more about the Transformers. But I think tonight, in particular, of all the episodes, we are going to see that Generation 1 or the original stuff is usually some of the stuff we're going to look at tonight proves the fact. I say the original Transformers stuff will never be touched again.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a bit bored with this stuff and I want to move on.
Okay, we'll go to something else now.
So I'll move on to something else and I would say Star Wars.
All
Because again, I'm a 1977, 1986. I love the classic figures. I love the toys. I love the films. I grew up through it.
Yeah.
However, I'm going to tell you straight.
Yeah.
I think the merchandise they pour out for it now.
Since Disney's got a hold of it.
Even before, it was never terribly.
What did I see the other day? I saw it was like a Kylo Ren baby seat for the car. You know, it's just like, all right. In all of production since they started making the first figure, do you know how many figures they've made right up until this year?
Okay. How many?
I'm asking you, I don't know.
It's got to be billions.
Yeah. No, I have no
gotta be
idea. I didn't do
billions.
any research, but yeah.
These thousands. My opinion is, they talk about that original figure. There's lots of TV shows. The scale is perfect.
Yeah.
Great timing. You know, it's interesting. The sci-fi took off in an unusual way in the late to mid 70s. You know, and you had so much going on, and Disney were doing the black hole to try and keep up. And I even like things like maybe
It's just dumb luck, I think.
Yeah, maybe like Back Rogers and I love Flash. I love all that stuff. But there was something special, and I don't know if I could really go, it was that, from all of the things I've read about Star Wars.
No, I think it's just timing, and it's very similar to Toy Story, the movie, how it was all cowboys and Indians and all that. Then all of a sudden, space toys killed it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's much like, we'll get to Power Rangers, but like Power Rangers I've never really liked because they killed the Ninja Turtles. There's, no matter what generation you're
It's
from.
cowboys and Indians in space, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's just cowboys and Indians.
That's what Han Solo is. He's basically just, they cast him for Indiana Jones. He goes, oh, I'm Han Solo, I'm just wearing a hat now. So, yeah, and I'm going to play. This is the other item. Every day someone will come in and say how much for the blaster. And we're not selling it, are we?
Well, not that one.
No.
We use it in the shop. But
Yeah. That's right.
I think we should talk about it really quick. As an investment, Star Wars stuff, Star Wars started it in a lot of ways with the toy collecting of modern action figures like it is. There's a lot of other toy lines that are worth a lot of money. Some of the My Little Pony stuff is worth a fortune.
Yeah.
But the desirability of some of the early stuff, if you have any in the loft, you just Google it. The last 17 are usually worth more money than the first 12.
Yeah.
Give it a Google. I think they're great. There's 90 odd figures. You can collect them. You can collect them loose and cheap. Or you can collect them mint. You can, on card. The Star Wars release card stuff goes for a couple of grand, maybe more. Card. You know, it's.
I'm pretty sure I read that they're one of the only toys that's always in production. Pretty much since they've started, they're always making Star Wars. So there's never been a long period of just.
I heard a story about that I thought was really good. So he kept changing and recutting it because he didn't want his wife to have royalties for her cut.
The movie?
So I think she did the first edit.
Jeez.
Then they separated. She went after the money, so he changed the edit.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that Steven Spielberg and Lucas were little buddies, and they both thought that Star Wars was going to tank, so neither of them went to the premiere. They went on vacation. They weren't at the premiere of Star Wars because they just thought it was going to be bad.
No.
Yeah, they weren't at the premiere, and they had a bet. What is it? Encounters of the Third Kind or whatever. Yeah. So that was already coming out, or it's around the same time. And Spielberg did that one, and Lucas did Star Wars. Lucas thought that Encounters of the Third Kind would make more money, and Spielberg thought Star Wars would make more money. So they had a bet that whoever's film made more money, the other person got a cut of it. So Steven Spielberg still gets 2.5% of all profits from Star Wars.
Who's your favourite character?
In Star Wars?
Yeah.
Lando, I think. He's just cool. Like every character, like Harrison Ford, Han Solo's, you know, a rebel, doesn't really want to be involved unless he has to, and Luke's the really good guy. Whereas, just Lando's just got his own thing going on.
Luke,
Like, it's not my fight.
Luke
I'm
Jedi. I'll tell you one thing. I remember I was just looking to see if there was a Chewbacca on the board. I had a Chewbacca vintage one, and I took it to school when I was a kid, and I lost it. In the school, in the TV room type thing, in this old Victorian school.
Yeah.
Do you know what? For years after, I dreamt about that little Chewbacca
Yeah.
and losing it and being in that room.
That's
How
a
was that?
nightmare. That's what,
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, is it a nightmare? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're great, and there's been lots of other stuff. I love the ships. I just love the way the plastic creaks. Yeah, I'll do a quickie on the old Snaggletooth.
There are just so many. Like, it's hard to sort of just narrow down what to talk about.
Little Snaggleteeth, he's in a canteen bar.
Oh yeah.
Cool. There was a production issue, they hadn't get the photographs over to him, or the photographs were actually in black and white, so they ended up making the bigger Snaggletooth, though that was recalled. And he actually looked like this, so maybe you can have a read up on that one. I'm there.
I heard a rumour of a friend had an error, which is always valuable in toy production, where it was like the packet said Darth Vader, but they put Princess Leia in it.
Yeah.
And it's an original carded, which is worth
Well,
enough anyway.
You know the original Return of the Jedi scope. He built it as Revenge of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Just to stop people bootlegging stuff.
Yeah.
So they're like, stuff was coming out bootleg saying revenge.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's what they did when they were making Return of the Jedi. Everything, script, jackets, they all said Blue Harvest. So no one would get onto the set thinking it was a Star Wars movie. So
I do love that the Family Guys.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say it, but I do.
I feel so bad. There's a special out with David Prowse, and it talks about kind of how much he got screwed from Star Wars. Like,
really
all three
sad.
films. This was just heartbreaking. Like, he'd been in the suit. David Prowse is Darth Vader in the suit, not the voice. And all through the movies, Lucas had promised, the last movie, we're taking your helmet off and it's going to reveal you and everything.
Hello, my lovely.
And they didn't even tell him that they'd cast someone else. So that day when they were shooting with the actor who actually had the mask take off, they had about 9 extra security guards, because they just pictured, if David Prowse walks in here pissed off, we're going to need backup.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Star Wars, I'm done.
Yeah. Let's move on. What do we got? What do we got?
We've still got a table full of stuff. What's next?
Power Rangers?
Okay. Like the Hail from Japan, they've been going a lot longer. The Super Sentai stuff, which is like the original Power Rangers stuff, was been going for a lot longer than what we receive in this part of the world, or in fact all around the world.
Okay.
The concept was that the TV shows were made where they would use the monster footage and the Rangers footage.
Yep.
They would make that in Japan.
Okay.
Then they would export that to the rest of the world and tell each country, when they do out of costume,
Yep.
get your own actors. They can do their own acting, and we'll dub everything else with the
Oh, that's...
And that's how he exported it, and that's how it went globally huge.
That's pretty cool. No, I didn't know that. Captain America, the Winter Soldier. There's a bit where Falcon tells him, oh, you've got to listen to this album. It's really cool. So Steve Rogers gets a list out of everything he needs to catch up on. And when you look at the list, there's Star Wars, there's Star Trek and everything on it. But they altered the list to every country it was in. So when it was being played in Australia, the list had Tim Tams and Vegemite on it. And, you know, so I just thought that was really cool. They just catering to every country. Oh, we're involved. Yeah, Power Rangers, I still go back to Voltron. I still think it's a bit
Voltron.
It's a bit of a Voltron
It's a
kind
whole
of
genre, isn't it? I love the Voltron stuff.
Yeah, I'm good, mate. All set.
I love the Voltron stuff. I like the robots, I like the Megazords, I like all the Japanese sort of... they've had this thing of Transformers, and they're building up the ships, and then Ultraman.
Yeah.
You know? But the Power Rangers, there isn't... you basically get a character.
Yep.
And exactly like Doctor Who, you just reinvent it.
Yeah.
You've got Zero Squad, you've got your Jungle Squad, or
because they have been around since like very early 90s, haven't they?
Yeah, they've been around ages.
Yeah.
But they've been in Japan. They've been on a lot longer.
Yeah. So the origin is from Japan.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, I love them. The film they made recently was okay.
I never went,
Yeah,
but I
it was
heard
alright.
I did actually get good reviews. Yeah, I didn't.
I enjoyed
no.
it.
I think I just love the classics. I love there's a certain way that the Japanese film those creatures
Yeah.
that I love.
Do that? Oh, I'm assuming the effects have improved, but I just remember the old school Godzilla.
But
Kind
that's
of
part
dude in a suit.
Yeah, but that's part of it, and that's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the
magic. Yeah. Another one that I can't actually see any on the table, and it's because they're so small and cute. Micro machines. You want to talk about micro machines?
yeah, go on then.
Okay.
It's funny, innit? This obsession we had. I had a lot of micro machines when I was a kid with little things.
They're down there if you need
Yeah,
to look.
they're on the front.
Yeah,
there.
they're everywhere.
I love the
No.
micro machines.
Yeah.
And again, you know, we talked about in one of the other shows. We talked about Funko Pops and how they could make something and then they can stick a label on it.
Yes.
You know, and micro machines became that. I mean, initially you had sort of like the little play sets and the little city that would unfold. They did
Wow.
chess sets like
That's
this
cool.
as well, back then, would unfold, and then you've got inside. You've got your restaurant, and your car park, and your petrol station, and you build them all up. And you go like that.
The only thing I really, because Micro Machines didn't have a movie or a TV show, did they? Anything like that? They're just a
They had a
product.
great game, the Micro Machines games for the Mega Drive, which
Yeah.
maybe we can do. I love the little ones, the little cars, and they did like the army and they did the tanks. But they also did, which I think is wonderful. I got them, so I think they're in these. These are the Star Wars Micro Machines.
Yeah, no, I do remember those.
They're great.
I just remember from all the TV ads, they got the Guinness Book World Record fast talker.
to do the adverts.
And that was just their ad. So yeah, that was just their thing. And I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, anything I associate with Micro Machines is that ad and Home Alone.
Yeah.
Just the bit where he just sets them all up and essentially assaults two innocent guys who were just... Yeah, I feel really bad for them. Bored. What else we got? What are these?
Barbie!
Oh, she pretty.
Da, 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 da. Strawberries and cream. This one. This is like the iconic '80s one. Whenever we get somebody into the shop, a lady into the shop, who says, "Oh, I had the strawberries and cream."
Yeah. How many Barbies are there? They're like, yeah, hundreds of them. That's why even that one, like when we were talking about Gem last week, I just think Gem is, even though she's 80s, she's cool, she's hip. Whereas Barbie, I seem, is really old-fashioned.
Yeah, no, Barbie's great, and I think now there's always that thing of she's the perfect figure, she's unusual, she couldn't stand up, and I know they're doing like Barbies that are body conscious and colour conscious and all these types of things, which is brilliant.
No, it's good.
But
And Barbies with jobs, like I think originally they were just Barbies in the kitchen, whereas now you can get every kind of Barbie. There's you know the doctors, the soccer players, or anything like that.
I loved all like the early ones, and Ken as well, bringing Ken in.
Ken's pretty cool. A story I heard about Barbie, which sounds like it should be a story from 1955 or something, but this is actually from 2007. They recalled about 850,000 units of Barbie because there was too much lead in them.
Oh,
Yeah. Like they'll just so.
nice.
If you're watching this and you've got a couple of your kids playing with Barbies, make sure they're not sucking on them if they're from 2007. Yeah.
I want to do an honourable mention. In the UK, we had Cindy. Now, so
Never heard of it.
Cindy, yeah, she's like Barbie,
Mm.
but she's really cool. Like Barbie, her legs went one way. Cindy's legs kind of went everywhere.
Okay.
And a lot of the ladies and gentlemen that collect them, I know they like the Cindy stuff, the ballerinas. I believe it was made by Pedigree, I think.
Okay.
The toy company. But yeah, the Cindy stuff's really cool as well. She shouldn't be left out because she does a lot.
I was curious to find out what was the most expensive Barbie, because there's been millions and millions of designs, and is it sort of the oldest one or something? And there was a Barbie made in Australia by a jeweler that's just encrusted with encrusted. Tomato. Covered in diamonds, and it's worth at $302,000 or something. So what haven't we done?
I think Garbage, Pail, kids.
They're awesome.
The smell alone.
Yeah. This so reminds me of there it is. Marbles. You know marbles? Yeah. Yeah, at school you were either playing with marbles and like it was a gambling casino. Like there'd be a kid waiting, he's dug a trench, you roll your marble up. If you hit his marble, you get his. If you miss it, he gets yours, kind of thing. Yeah, Australian, where and then there was another kid selling beer. But these, every kid had his little album of Garbage Pail Kids. Like I just don't know what kids talk about at school now. Because you go to school and say like, "Hey, have you got a handy Randy? I need a swap." So.
Yeah, there was the one with the toilet where I was after him bomb something.
Yeah.
And he was dropping a shit. My parents were horrified.
At these?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
my
not
sister
really.
loved them.
I can see my mum looking at it going, oh, I don't think that's funny. But yeah. Oh yeah, and on the back you'd make up a little poster. So.
Blue Boy George.
How did no one get sued?
But I love them, and they're really collectible. I think there's probably an exception of the rule where one of them is worth more than the rest or something. But yeah, they're cool. If you see them, pick them up because they're brilliant. I think.
Yeah.
I'm done with.
Yeah, I'm bored with that. Yeah. I'm ignoring this giant thing next to me. It's been hard.
Can we talk about Fozzie Bear?
Yes. Muppets.
Waka waka waka.
This little guy here. I've got Muppets. One thing I remember, and I hope no one takes this the wrong way, but there was a Muppet that they've kind of just ignored. I think just because of the climate of the world at the moment. But Crazy Harry. Do you remember Crazy Harry?
Oh yeah.
I won't say, who it looks like he's representing, but every time Wazza Wazza would sell a bad joke, Crazy Harry would come in and just blow everyone up. Not popular these days. Is he even in the book?
I was just looking.
Yeah. Crazy Harry was my favourite. So
I love the animals.
yeah. That was another, like you mentioned George Lucas and his wife working on Star Wars. Jim and Jane Henson created the Muppets, a little couple. And Kermit was the first one, which I think is quite cool.
Kermit the Frog box.
Aww.
Fozzie's jokes. Do you want to tell some jokes?
Yes.
Do you want to read it?
Oh.
He's the actor. I'm.
Dude, this is like
Shrek.
5. Is this one? Oh, no, the individual ones. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Where does a 1-ton budgie sleep?
I don't know. Where does a one-ton budgie sleep?
Anywhere it likes. We
Hey,
really should have
waka
researched.
waka waka!
No. Why do Eskimos eat candles?
Go on.
They prefer light meals.
Ah, that's
there
good.
it is.
Man.
It's a thinker.
Waka.
It's a thinker. Yeah.
Waka.
But no, these were cool. And it's
Get him off, rubbish!
It's hard to put, like, if you know someone in their 60s, they know who the Muppets are.
Yeah.
They've been around for like 60 years. So it's hard to picture a world without them, even though they're not mainstream at the moment. There's been those recent films, Jason Segel. Is it Jason Segel? Yeah.
Kermit will never go.
No.
Like, there will be Kermit. Even Miss Piggy is like an icon.
Yeah.
Like, women wear Miss Piggy t-shirts and
Yep.
like, my sister loves Miss Piggy. And we bought her some, like puppets and all sorts of stuff, really cool stuff. But my favourite, and we cannot mention Muppet Babies, they'll do anything for you.
I collected all of those little Muppet babies from Happy Meals. There's one.
No, they're the
Oh, no, wait, that's not
I
one.
know what you mean.
I know
They
you.
do it-
I
they
thought
do
you
do
had
the
one.
toys.
I thought we had one.
No, we have no one there.
Isn't? Oh well. Yeah. Those were, as far as like Happy Meals go, those were my favourites. So yeah. All right.
Happy?
Yeah.
Now, before I say bored and we move on to the next one,
Yeah.
be calm, be cool, be focused. There was never a film with a women cast. Okay.
The new Ghostbusters movie, they gave it a go. I've waited so long for a third one, and they just dicked around for so long, saying, "Oh, we want this, we want that." And the script's not right, and then he just dies. Spengler dies. It's just it's like, well, you screwed it up, didn't you? So no, the new film I don't have a problem with an all-female cast. Like Ocean's 8, that was alright. It's nothing to do with the all-female cast. I think the problem was every character was trying to be the main funny guy, whereas the original had Bill Murray and he's funny and he's sort of the Fonzie of the movie, and then the others have their own
More
thing.
slapstick.
But you can't all be Bill Murray, and that's I think what they screwed up with the new one. So yeah.
So what do you want to talk about first? Do you want to talk about Ghostbusters, or do you want to talk about the real Ghostbusters?
I think you should take the real Ghostbusters because I
Right.
don't know a lot about the comics.
So the cartoon and comic, the concept is the film has happened. The film is canon to the cartoon because the film is actually the story of the characters in the cartoon.
Right. But the cartoon takes place after the movie.
The movie is based on the characters in the cartoon.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Cool. You want me to do it? You want to do it?
No,
I've never done
you
this.
go for it.
I've actually never done this before.
Right, here with the camera, you got 3 shots. Don't knock it off.
I know if I knock this. All right. Stand back, Huey. Oh. Ooh. That was actually quite good. Yeah, that was nice.
That's another one then.
Yeah, your turn.
No, you go on.
Reload.
See if we can get it to, like,
You want to actually lose these, or
well, not lose them. We can get it back tomorrow when the record man opens.
no good. My favorite. It was my favorite toy of all time growing up. Was Peter Venkman right there. Without sounding creepy, I've still got one in my man bag that it's in a secret pocket. I carry it everywhere. It's the original from my childhood. So. Dude. Alright, some cool stuff about the movie. Remember the scene at the beginning where they're walking through and the bookcase falls down at the back? That's real. I mean, I wasn't there, but this is what I've read, is that wasn't in the script. It had nothing to do with anything. It was just stagehands were screwing around, didn't put it up right. It fell down. So their reaction and all their lines in that scene is ad-libbed, as is most of the film. If you look at it, most of what Bill Murray says, he's just come up with on the spot. The original script is very far from what the movie turned out to be, because all these dudes were just so good at making shit up. So
like us.
Yeah. You got that one? It was a pun. What I loved is the commercial. You know, they do trailers for movies and however they want to do it. Back then, the trailer for the movie, which would come up at the cinema and on TV, was the actual ad they use in Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
You know in Ghostbusters where they say like, oh, call 555. They just put that ad as a trailer for the movie, but they changed the phone number. So when you called the phone number, you actually got through to a recording of Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd saying we're out catching ghosts.
Oh, brilliant.
They got 1,000 calls an hour for about 6 weeks. I thought that was great. And I think the original was meant to have Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi, and Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
But Eddie Murphy backed out and John Belushi died, obviously. So yeah, it would have been quite a different movie. It's all shaving cream when this guy gets blown up at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, it's a great film. Sequels, I still think the sequel's pretty good. Not as good, but
I like the sequel.
Yeah.
They scared the pants off me when I was a kid.
Yeah. And the remake. I don't know if it's a remake because I can't do it. I can't do it.
Don't
Okay,
worry. Don't
yeah.
even.
So, to keep this one happy and all the game nerds, next week we're doing a gaming episode.
We're doing a gaming episode.
Yeah. Shit. Alright. See you later. We'll be back next week. You got moved to your glass?
Da 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 da.